Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Hammond's Monsters podcast. Today we will be covering Friday Night Smackdown on October 11th. With me always is T-Money, aka Terrence, aka T-Money.
If you smell what the lion is cooking.
I messed that up. I said T-Money. That's fine. I keep at it. That was the one time I messed up after all this routine. Anyway, let's go ahead and review it and see, because on that night, they actually started the draft in 2019. So here we go. We start the show with a match between two brothers, blood brother. They're not really related by blood, but you know. Roman Reigns representing SmackDown and Seth Rollins representing Raw. Whoever wins that match gives them the edge for their brand show to get the first pick and last of each and every round. 5 picks in total. One gets an extra each round. So whoever wins, their brand actually gets more. In this match, it was a perfect match until the lights went out. The Fiend's music of Bray Wyatt comes in, and well, he comes out from the bottom of the ring, dragging Seth Rollins to hell. Seth Rollins then comes out from the smoke and is just seeing the Fiend stick his head out and then just goes back in. And all you hear is laughter. Taken by surprise, we do not know how this match was supposed to go down. Ultimately, because of the outside interference by Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, it would be considered a disqualification in the favor of Seth Rollins. Therefore, the win goes to Monday Night Raw. Thus, each and every round of the draft picks, Raw, SmackDown, and then finally Raw once again. And there will be 4 rounds in that night, and we will cover that in just a bit.
But you know who's in charge of SmackDown, right?
Stephanie McMahon?
Nope. Fox Network.
Friday Night SmackDown. Because of the 2 different brands, thank you for mentioning that, it would be literally the board of directors and people working under USA Channel for Monday Night Raw and Fox Sports for Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, well, they're both the same.
Trying to see who they want to get, because once this is settled, there will be no draft. Each and every wrestler who is drafted to those shows, to those channels, will be wrestling only against those people on those respectable channels.
You guys know Fox owns Fox Network and Fox Sports.
So with that said, that would be the first match of the night, and it ends in one hell of a crazy settlement. With that said, let's go ahead and, because he talks about it, let's go ahead and cover all the rounds that were mentioned for these people who are going to Raw and SmackDown. And since we are covering this, we are going to cover the first 2 rounds of the top 10 picks that we talked about in the last video featuring Friday Night SmackDown. Monday Night Raw. And NXT, we were talking about it. And no, NXT would not be involved because only Raw and SmackDown were mentioned on who was being drafted. And there was only going to be 30 people being
Just say name.
People that would be available to draft. Everybody else would be a free-for-all, from what we understand. I was like, wow, really?
Because you gotta remember, Raw and SmackDown are competing against each other.
Mm-hmm.
NXT is competing against AEW.
And USA is fighting against Fox Sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There we go. Round 1, and the very, very first pick would be none other than that I can think of as to why, the quadruple threat, Becky Lynch. First pick out of everybody, and it's a woman, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2019 Women's Revolution, still going strong. Case in point, why I think Becky Lynch was picked. One is not only that she is rising higher than any woman in the wrestling business for these 4 reasons. 1, she's the Raw Women's Champion. 2, her gimmick for the man. 3, the win at WrestleMania against Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey in the first ever women's main eventing at WrestleMania, and finally being the first woman on the cover for the new WWE 2K 2020.
Second women's main event WrestleMania. First one was Trish and Lita.
So they ended it?
Mm-hmm.
And what WrestleMania?
WrestleMania, what was it?
They ended the show?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
It was in 2002.
Then why the hell were they saying it was the first? Ever?
They always say that. They don't mean it's really true.
I guess they forgot their asses.
Mm-hmm.
You know you hate that if it's Trish involved.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot Trish. Charlotte Flair's a new Trish.
No, it ain't. The hell?
That's what people are doing.
No,
I'm not saying that in
I
the comparison of looks that Trish is more appealing, but
I
Charlotte Flair is definitely taking up the spot.
I would say I would say more like Beth Phoenix. I think the Trish is still. I would say.
No, Beth Phoenix ain't even wrestling no more.
Yeah, but I'll say who could be the next Trish?
It's Charlotte Flair.
No,
whether you like it or not, she's taking up all the titles, taking up all the space, and everybody's looking at her besides Becky Lynch.
I was thinking Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. Not really.
Charlotte
Flair owns her. Alexa Bliss, to my knowledge, hasn't really gotten the drop on her.
Or Natalya, because Natalya is constantly the Queen of Hearts.
Natalia's not getting that airtime that like Charlotte Flair's been getting. They have literally pushed her further than anybody, including Trish Stratus as of late.
Well, they're saying because she's getting a lot of airtime because she's Ric Flair's daughter.
Not just that, because she's actually trying to go beyond that. Just the Ric Flair name.
And
she has.
That's the backstage.
She has.
That's the backstage.
In my opinion, she's gone further than any other woman. I hate to say it.
That's the backstage issue, though.
Well, with that, she's a quadruple threat, and it would be the number one pick because of all that stuff. Next up would ironically be the second person on the 2020 WWE 2K, or is it called W2K20?
Yeah.
Would be Roman Reigns, picked for SmackDown. They got Roman Reigns as soon as they get. So not only do we get a woman, we get a person who is not even holding a title. Neither the World Heavyweight Champion, or WWE Champion Brock Lesnar, or current Universal Champion Seth Rollins are the top picks. They're not.
So you see, he already got asked for his job before that happened.
In which case, Roman Reigns is just so many things. So that was a definitely good pick. The next would be Chris Petrie's favorite. They weren't breaking up. They were called by faction name the OCs. That would include the United States champion AJ Styles, along with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, all together on Monday Night Raw. Next, we would have The Fiend Bray Wyatt on SmackDown. You thought he was scary before? Welcome to the playground that once belonged solely to the iconic figure known as The Undertaker. Since he's trying to retire officially, for real this time, he doesn't want to wrestle no more, I think we still got ourselves a Dark Lord. But no longer The Undertaker. We're going to see more of Bray Wyatt. Like they did The Undertaker.
Did you also know that the OCs are the second trio to be in draft? The first trio was the NWO.
Finally, we'd have Drew McIntyre. He was Raw's third pick, and ultimately the fifth pick chosen in the draft. Despite the fact that he hasn't been shown on air for quite some time since the issue with Roman Reigns help against Shane McMahon at the time.
Well, because he's injured.
See, even injured superstars are being picked. And Drew McIntyre was a hot pick at number 3 for Monday Night Raw. In round 2, we would see, once again, in this order, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, for each and every round. Once again, Raw gets a pick one, and this guy got his choice. In the last video, we said our piece, and he said he would hope Randy Orton would go to Monday Night Raw. Well, here we go. Round 2, first pick. Randy Orton goes to Monday Night Raw.
There's been reported that he probably go, if he gets a title shot, it'll probably be Intercontinental because he said that he doesn't care for the Universal Belt.
What if they push him towards it?
He said he has the right to say no.
Next, SmackDown just got more interesting. She said she looked good in blue. Well, now she's on the blue brand. Ladies and gentlemen, the boss, Sasha Banks, is on SmackDown. Next up, we have the bouncing, high-flying, agile individual known as Ricochet, being drafted to Raw at number 3 and actually number 7 in the draft for Monday Night Raw. And in this same second round, I said my pick, and where I hope he ends up, I got my wish too. We got Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, on SmackDown Live. I got my wish. Finally, we have the controversy of between Rusev, Lana, and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley would be Raw's final top 10, but let's see.
There ain't controversy yet,
Yeah.
bro.
6th pick for Bobby Lashley to be coming to Monday Night Raw.
There ain't controversy yet, bro. We got more years coming.
No, with Lana,
That's what
Rusev,
yeah, that's what means.
and Bobby Lashley. The controversy is the fact that there's a scandal going on. We don't know what's going on.
That's more like a scandal. It's not a controversy. It's like controversy. Is like it happened like years, bro.
Oh, okay. Then what's
It's,
it?
it's like
a scandal, I
Yeah,
guess.
a scandal.
Sorry, wrong word. So that would be the top picks. And out of it, we would only have, holy shit, only just 2 champions. Only 2 champions out of all those picks. Only 2 of them were champions. Becky Lynch and AJ Styles are part of the OCs. And they're both going to Raw. Told you people, it doesn't matter if you're champion or not. They will pick you over everybody else. Ain't that a twist? So in that being the top picks, we'll cover the matches in just a bit. Here we go. We got the 3rd round. The goddess Alexa Bliss goes to Monday Night Raw. Next, following that, is Lacey Evans goes to SmackDown. The lady herself.
But you know what happens in drafts, right? If the person, the guy, like the general manager, say if he wants his wrestler, he'll try to
Trade her.
trade
him.
Trade 2 or 3 of his guys or women just to get that wrestler.
Mm. No longer part of the Blue Brand after taking down Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens is going to Monday Night Raw. Keeping the Blue Brand where it should be, the SmackDown titles champions, the Revival, are coming to SmackDown. They didn't lose the titles. Technically, they could have transferred their titles. The Blue Brand titles to Raw. That would have been a scandal, confusing. Finally, Raw gets the Queen of Hearts, Natalya, staying on Raw. And finally, for the 4th round and the final 5, we would have the Viking Raiders be drafted to Monday Night Raw. The tag team division just upped their game with the Luke Gallows and the OCs and the Viking Raiders. Ooh, we're going to see that, some more of them. So now we get more of the Japanese wrestling matches and Ring of Honor matches still on Monday Night Raw. Go figure. And keeping all one faction together, we got the Lucha House Party coming to SmackDown Live. See more of the high-flying luchador styles with these 3 is going to be interesting. Next up, the Bliss Cross Connection is staying together because Nikki Cross has been drafted to Monday Night Raw. So, damn, they could have broken up that friendship right there. They keep their buddy. Another tag team has been mentioned. We would have Heavy Machinery coming to SmackDown. The boys in blue jeans, jackets are still staying on the Blue Brand. Finally, yo boys that you are now getting interested in, the Street Profits, the final picks of the night, will be coming to Monday Night Raw. Taking off from NXT, now will be officially on one of the 2 brands of Monday Night Raw, the Red Brand.
Actually, they've been to on NXT because remember they're no longer champions.
Yeah, but they were wrestling on NXT until just recently.
Yeah.
Now being officially on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they got called up, yeah.
Mm-hmm. After the first draft was already announced, we would hear that this man is upset that he wasn't one of the top 5. We would have King Corbin actually officially call Chad Gable Shorty Gable, and they would have a match prior to what happened at Hell in a Cell.
I'm glad you mentioned that name, but guess what? That's not that's not his name.
Oh, they officially, yeah, because he did say after being Corbin, he said, "Call me whatever you want," and they did.
That's what they named him now. No longer Chad Gable.
Shorty Gable.
Yeah.
Well, sadly to say, he didn't win this time. Corbin actually got him with the end of days to get the win. He literally walked into it. Next up, we would have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman come to the ring, but were interrupted by Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez.
Cain Velasquez.
Velasquez. Yeah, I've never heard that one before. Ultimately, they would state that what would be later known for the fact that we would have Brock Lesnar going up against Cain, and we would have Baron Corbin going up against Tyson Fury. That would be introduced later on, earlier that day. We have a 6-man tag between the OCs, who have just been announced that they'll be on Monday Night Raw officially all together, and the New Day, who haven't been drafted yet by one or all, will be fighting them. And sure enough, the New Day ended up top with Kofi Kingston, no longer the WWE champion, but still on his game, ultimately giving AJ Styles the Trouble in Paradise out of nowhere for a spin, kick, bam, 1, 2, 3. Winning for his team, the New Day, over the OCs. You ain't happy about that, ain't you, Chris Petrie? No. Finally, we would have a match that changes everything. A rematch for Hell in a Cell featuring Bayley, who lost her title at Hell in a Cell, and Charlotte Flair, the 10-time women's champion. When Charlotte Flair came out, everybody was actually cheering for her. And then when Bayley came out, all of a sudden, that pep that she always had wasn't there. She takes off her jacket to show her new gear. And then her new haircut. We were confused because we saw the buddy, little flammable arm tube band, whatever you want to call him. She then comes up from behind one of them. You can go ahead. And has what looks like an axe.
Yeah.
And then she just chops down those things. Her inflatable tube guys. She was just chopping them up one by one.
Inflatable buddies.
Yeah. And no longer any music at that time. So we were like all confused. Like, what the hell? What's going on?
And just so y'all know, the Wrestling News showed a video. I guess the parents recorded their child crying over that.
Mm-hmm. In which case, the match would go on, and ultimately, surprise, surprise, out of nowhere, she ended up winning the match, becoming a 3-time women's champion, on account that she was Raw Women's Champion at one WrestleMania, and then became SmackDown champion, and held it for a long while, and now losing it one night, and then gaining it back the next following Friday. She's a 3-time champion, and then Charlotte Flair is in disbelief, knowing like, how the hell? Because she didn't cheat. You would think she was going to cheat, but she didn't cheat. And then she makes an announcement that not only shocked us once before, and shocks us again, winning the title, winning it back, she then shocks us by saying the B word. Yeah, what up, bitches? Like, oh, you guys, screw you. Go screw yourselves, she says.
Bailey said that?
Yeah. She's cussed on the freaking mic. They barely caught that.
Oh, yeah, you can do that now because he said you can curse now.
Bailey is no longer the hugger, no longer the lovable character. We recognize she's turned into something more dark or aggressive.
It was, Like, wrestlers won't tell you that, but they'll say backstage or interviews that they hated their character gimmick.
We don't know about the hugger. Well, honestly, I don't know. But we can say this much. Considering that right now she is the SmackDown Women's Champion, she has got to be picked for SmackDown on Monday Night Raw tonight. Today's Monday, by the way, so we got to see Monday Night Raw. Also, with the fact that we also have news that we'll be looking forward to on Monday Night Raw, Sasha Banks is injured once again, and she won't be competing against Becky this night on Monday Night Raw. So it will be replaced by Charlotte Flair, and where she ends up now that she's no longer the SmackDown's champion, she could come to Raw. She could be drafted. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
And just so you know, Mike Kanellis, Maria's husband, has asked for his WWE released.
Did they give it to him?
Let me check.
Yeah. While he does that, I'll go ahead and say shout out to our remaining Heaven Monsters podcast members, Xavier Hill, Mike Henry, and Andre Mitchell. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the descriptions down below, as well as a shout out to Renee Farrell, Chris Petrie, and Delvin. What does this say? Did it grant it?
Yeah, they gave it.
What about his wife, Maria Kanellis?
Yeah.
She gone too?
Yeah, they weren't happy about their position in the WWE.
She's still pregnant, right?
No.
It's a boy.
Mm-hmm. They said their opportunity. They said they resigned in his statement. Mike knows that the opportunity to work in WWE doesn't exist anymore.
So chances are, if he doesn't go to Impact, he might go to Ring of Honor, he might go to NWA, or he might go to the hottest thing right now, and that's AEW. So where he ends up, we'll keep you posted. Well, in our podcasts, at least. Not up to date. If you're late to hearing it like we are, at least we'll cover it. Anyway, I think that covers it, bro. Right? We're not going to cover 205 Live. There was a new episode, but I haven't seen it yet. So we'll cover it when we do. In which case, you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You didn't, give it a thumbs down. Hit that subscribe button, you like the content, and hit that notification bell for the next Heaven Monsters podcast. I'm SergDragon. This is Team Money. We'll see you in the next video. Peace up, y'all.
Bye.